What's up, Kickstart? I'm Ethan. This is topic 16 on emotional and mental health, and I'm new. So I'll be here on Wednesdays. I will start by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm 29. I'm a high school English teacher. I'm pre-everything, but I'm hoping to change that soon, so I'll keep you updated. I'm in Western Massachusetts, so I'll put my therapist's information under the video, and if you're in Western Mass, I definitely recommend her. So, to mental and emotional health. I think therapy is really important. I know that the gatekeeping process around transition can be really frustrating, and in some cases not very supportive or helpful. It really depends on the doctors and the therapists that you interact with. But there are great therapists out there, and mine has been really supportive for me. Because she's so supportive, I've gotten through a lot of crap, so it is the difference between me being at all productive and moving forward and not. So I will kind of back up and go through the process of finding her and what coming out has been for me. I actually knew her a while back, and I kind of lucked into finding her. When I found that she was around and was local to me, I immediately wanted to see her. I was dealing with stress, and I hadn't been in therapy for a while since I was in college, when I actually saw the same therapist years before. So I really lucked into it. It's kind of strange when I think about it, because she really kind of specializes in gender, and she is really well connected within like kind of trans network of Western Mass. So I just kind of lucked into that, because when I went there, I was feeling a lot of stress, and I was just generally anxious about stuff, but I didn't really know that it was about this gender stuff. It was kind of like through that process of getting to know her again and to get comfortable talking about myself that I really identified that was what was causing so much stress for me. I mean, I came out to myself as trans like 8 years before that, but I didn't realize that I was going to want to transition at some point. And this was last summer, when it was the stress of actually being a bridesmaid in my friend's wedding that like threw me over the edge, So it took me a while to open up and like build a relationship with this therapist where I wanted to actually talk, because my inclination is to keep things to myself. But now that I have that, I really look forward to it. I see her, every week, and it's kind of one of my favorite things in my week. It really helps me. And part of that's because there's been a lot of stress related to coming out, which is probably true for everybody. So therapy is, I think, a really important part of the process. I deal with my stress by trying, whenever possible, to do productive things. Therapy is productive for me. Therapy makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I, am dealing with things rather than just putting them aside or holding them in. So therapy is productive for me, and reading is productive for me. I read a lot. When I was first kind of coming out to people and I was first figuring out how to talk about this with people, I read kind of everything I could find about gender. Kate Bornstein's books I related to those. I really read everything, and nothing's standing out to me right now, except that I moved on to memoirs, and I really liked a recent release, which is Nick Krieger's Nina Here Nor There. That I really related to. But I read so much, and I felt, because I was doing that I was well informed. that I could explain at least some of my feelings to people, and if they couldn't understand everything, at least they'd realize that I had thought this all out, that I was informed and I knew what I was doing. And that gave me a lot of confidence, which helped with my stress. I mean, all these things are kind of tied together. When I came out, I lost a 10-year relationship, and I don't know that if you know all the details of our lives that you would say that those two things are like directly related. I think probably our relationship would have ended at some point regardless, but it felt related. So there's a lot of stress to have at the same time that you are trying to come out to everybody in your family, which was also stressful, and then to come out at work, which I guess, I mean, it wasn't just an office building, and I think that's stressful enough, but I was coming out to my colleagues, to my boss and all that, and then to 200 plus students and their parents, and I was having to, anticipate their reactions, and that was a lot of stress. So being able to go to therapy really helped. Other things that help, I just try to be productive. I am the kind of person to make the to-do list and check things off as I get to them, like changing my name and gender marker, dealing with the credit cards and all the stuff that you have to do when you change that stuff, telling the different people in my family and making sure that I have really not left a lot of people in the dark. Every time I accomplish something like that, it reduces some of my stress. I have stress about waiting for my T letter, but I've done kind of everything I can do to make that happen, so it's really not in my hands. So I just try to deal with the things that I can take care of on my own, and that's what I do to deal with stress. But I guess I want to finish by saying again that I do think that therapy is helpful. I think that therapy gives you an ally if you have a good therapist. It gives you an ally in a really stressful time, and it gives you a place where you get to put all your emotions out there, because when you come out, people make it about them. I mean, it's really remarkable. Almost everybody, I mean, not everybody, but there's some people who just accept it and are fine with it. But a lot of the people that are close to you will make it all about how they are feeling and how it will change their lives. And that can be overwhelming. If you don't have a person to go to just put your stuff out there, I don't know. I mean, I know that for me, I don't think that I would be at the point that I'm at now and feel as good about the way things have gone. So I just really recommend it. And that's it. So I really am happy to be here, and I look forward to telling you more about myself. Have a good week.